Hello, my name is Jennifer, and welcome to part 14 of my Super Teens Challenge. And if you are returning, welcome back. And we're where we left off, but the only difference is I've gone through and checked everybody's skills, their aspiration progress with respect to the aspirations we're working on for all of them and individually, other than I have not yet looked at the music part, but I figure we'll get to that later. But they've been working on a lot of the other ones, including obviously this Nerd Brain, which we're struggling a little bit with because a lot of the books don't seem to count because they get through and level up too quickly. And I think you have to read the book twice for it to count. Possibly the second level book, they wouldn't level up quite as quickly. Maybe. So maybe that would work. So of course, for a few of them, or two of them, I can't remember exactly, we had them do the vampire lore, because that seems to be ticking off and letting it work when they get to the second book. So speaking of which, now that I kind of have an idea with all of them where they are, I did notice that Freddie doesn't have very high gardening skill. He's the lowest of them all, if I got my numbers right, and he's only level 4. So I'm going to check. Let's see here. He doesn't seem to have any gardening moodlets, so we're going to go check and see. I haven't looked if Hatchie is on the stand. I'm kind of assuming he is, and he is. So we're going to ask for gardening tips, and while we're at it, we may as well check pockets for seeds. And that's just going to like even more intensify how focused he is. And of course, Declan, I had him uncover this artifact, so he is still, he's authenticating it now that he finished uncovering it. But, you know, it's just going to help him with his archaeology skill. And what are you doing, my dear Abigail? So the question is, do I want her to read some more? Or would it be better for her just to do some fishing? Because that is her actual aspiration. She still needs to fish for 10 hours. She's showing as none. And she has to mount or bowl some fish, which she has lots in her inventory. So we could do that quite easily right now. Let's put her onto that angling ace. So she has to mount or bowl the fish. And I think most of the fish aren't really very valuable or very in good shape, I should say. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it's simple. We're just going to mount some of these fish, and that will tick off really easily that she has done it. And that should be done. So we got 250 aspiration points for that. And you know what? We're just going to sell. They're not worth very much. Let's just get them out of our inventory and be done with it. So why don't we have her go fishing? We can fish in this neighborhood, and this will help her with both her fishing skill and her fishing aspiration. We're just going to have her go fishing because she hasn't done any so far. And Grant, of course, is over here fishing because he completed his aspiration. So we may as well, he needs to probably, we're going to go fishing here to get, I'm assuming, the second location. He wants to play a violin concerto, and he wants to buy a punching bag. Oh, I didn't even realize we didn't have a punching bag, but we can probably do that at some point, if I remember, sooner rather than later. So Bonnie, you are, let's check again. Obviously, I only kept track of the skills that I've asked, like I have a goal for them to get, to do well with, and not the other ones. So she could read the flower arranging skill, because that is one that tends to count, because that doesn't level up. That's 2 and 3. Someone must be reading that book already, or we need to clean up all the books, and that might help us. Nora, you're not being very productive. Let's check and see if our juice fizzing machine, no, it says not ready. So it's fizzing, even though we can't tell. But we have 2 things here. So she should just stock the table. And why don't we, I can't remember. I think our all we have is the needing the eco, like the water, the dew collectors and whatnot. So she's probably fine. I think we already, I remember us repealing something. We did that shortly after the pack came out. So you can come over here any minute. But while you're doing that, Freddie, where did you get with your gardening? When you asked, you got to level 7 of the gardening skill. So what I want you to do, oh, you are tending the table. I just couldn't see you because of where I was zoomed in. Poor Nora. Here I'm thinking you're taking forever and you're already here. Start yard sale, and I assume that it's already marked up. It is indeed. So we'll let her do that. Now Freddie can do some upgrades, and I had said I wanted us to do these upgrades on here. So he's missing 2 plumbing upgrade parts and 1 common upgrade part. Or he could do 3 eco upgrade parts. Yeah, maybe. It's easier just to buy the parts. We could have him work on his fabrication and get those done. But usually when their skill is really low, I don't find they get very far with that. They tend to the machine breaks, or they end up in it and all that stuff. So it's simpler just to buy these parts. Purchase upgrade parts. So we're going to go in here, and I don't remember exactly what was needed. So we're just going to buy a few because we may want them to do more. I don't want to buy too many of the other because honestly, when they do repairs, they get it also from that way. So we're going to do this water recycler, and hopefully that will count as upgrading an object. Sometimes I think it does, but I don't remember for sure. So we'll see. Okay, I see Edward, you're over here just sitting. Just sitting. And there's Lily, right? Lily Fang, am I getting the name right? Yes, I am. I had to zoom out to see the name. So let's take a look here. And you are already at level 3 of flower arranging. And I'm just trying to think of a skill that might be, easy to learn with. I think we have a couple of fabrication books. Why don't you try seeing how that goes? Well, we have 1 on the bookshelf. I thought we had a couple, but it's possible. And a couple being couple level 1s, not a level 1 and a level 2. So we'll see. And because he's almost maxed his logic. And the thing is, we were trying to get him to actually work on things that he needed. And his handiness is 7. Fishing would be something good for him to actually do. We'll let him finish. We'll see if this fishing works, and if it does work, if this reading of the fabrication book works for this part of the aspiration. And regardless, we'll send him fishing when he is done. Though, of course, they all have to go into work today. Did we sell the stuff? And I didn't even realize. I think we did because I think our money's more. And I completely missed it. So we're going to end the yard sale because there's nothing showing here on the table. So it does look like we have done that. She needs to get to level 6 of the logic skill. And logic is a very good thing to have when we are in Salvadorada. For all of them, actually. Does she have herbalism? Where is her herbalism? That's actually a good thing to work on. It is level 3. I think she had to do the fish. She had to do the, Colleen. What are you doing, Colleen? Why don't you just come here? Okay. Colleen needs to have a shower, and I seem to recall Declan needs to do magic on someone because that's his aspiration. So we'll do that. So I'll step back from her starting to work on that. And I'm distracted because I see someone is at our bar. So it looks like we need to put that in a fenced-in area because I don't want random people coming in and using our bar. Thank you very much. That's quite funny. I was not expecting that to be a thing, but it looks like it is. Anyways, I guess there's no harm done right now to someone using our bar. I had her here. She needs to write while she's inspired, but unfortunately she can't. So I don't remember the thought I had, so maybe I'll get to it later. Maybe it'll come to me later. Let's go on and just move along with Declan and have him try and cast a spell on Colleen. So we're going to magic Scrubberoo, and you can stop doing that for now. You can stop. I think I might have been trying to look at where they were in terms of their skills. But, so there, you got that done. And where 2 of 3 different skills, and you're level 1. Spells, not skills. Spells. why don't you just practice your magic? Practice your practical magic. That would be handy for you to do. And you're over there fishing, and 10 hours is going to take a while to get through, so we're not going to make progress with that anytime soon. You, my dear, are needing to do some work with, let's check your logic, because that's actually the one I really wanted them all to sort of work on. So why don't you, I was going to say have you come here, but the nanny's sitting there. Since the nanny's sitting there, why don't you just ask her to play? I thought I can't ended this sale. So why are you people still all hanging around our lot? We ended this sale. We don't particularly want you to be here right now. And I can't remember where I put the other chess table. There's one. There it is. I completely missed it. So Bonnie, you're not really doing anything, so you can come here and play. And even though you kind of need to read a book, but we'll just let you play because your fabrication is already level 4. Actually, forget that. Why don't you read the second book? Read Fabrication 2, because you can. We'll let you read and we'll let you play a little bit with that. Colleen, you're cleaning up. Good girl. And unfortunately, like I said, you're not very, you can't do your aspiration because it requires you to be inspired. You could write a book, but you wouldn't be writing it while you're inspired, which is how I usually like to start it. And also, it doesn't really help us very much with going to Salvatorata. So, we're just going to skip all of this because I had said also that we might have them read in Salvatorata. So, we're going to have you catch a fish. Go try fishing. Go over here and go fishing. Obviously, you have fishing skill. And it looks like you stopped and you're starting again. So we really would need to go somewhere else for him to get his third location, which I don't think we'll do until after they work today, because they all work today. And so we can't really, why do you keep stopping fishing? Did you actually come here autonomously? No, you didn't, because I actually told you to fish. Are we keeping getting a message saying that they're... Well, he reached level 7. He's definitely able to fish here, so he just stops for some reason. And what is this that you're catching? Nothing. I kind of expect more from you, Abigail, given your level of fishing skill. Okay, we have a pop-up. We are going to say, it's fine, don't overreact. And I think that was Edward. So, Edward, you should probably try and scrubberoo yourself. Magic, scrubberoo. And did you... Oh, you did get that done. Oh, good. So you can actually repair or upgrade an object now. Did you get to level 6? Oh, now we need to launch or upgrade a rocket ship. So this was Colleen, and she was fishing. So she's fished at the one of 2 locations, so she may as well stop. And can you fish here? Sometimes I have a problem when I try and tell 3 people to fish at the same location. But other times I don't. See, just once he catches his 5th fish, there's really no point for him to keep fishing here, because it won't count the 10 hours fishing until we get to the next part of the aspiration. So, but I wouldn't necessarily notice it if, but he goes to work pretty soon. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. So she's at 5 of 10 hours, and you've got your second. Oh, they're being romantic with each other. That's kind of nice since they're married. Not something I think I notice very often between them. So, you know what? You got that. You got that. And you caught your fish. You caught that fish. So, you know what you should do? I was going to have you move, but then I realized you're hungry. So why don't you rally the troops? And why don't you... I thought you could harvest it because it was all sparkly. But you can't harvest it. And you can dig, but, you know, we don't really need that. That's not really very productive or useful or any of that in there. did we not ever harvest all of our plants? It looks like we didn't, so, or at least not our dragon fruit over there, because I see some on there. And this is ready to collect. I have no idea if this was Nora who did it, but we'll assume it was and get her to come and look at that. And she works in 5 hours, and hopefully she'll get her promotion. She'll be level 9 of this. There we go. She got another seltzer with a hint of dragon fruit. And let's take that and put it here. And while we're here, why don't we make something else? This time we'll make something that we can try and send in as opposed to having to sell. So we're going to do some basil to make a kombucha. And now that we've done that, we're just going to start fizzing. And I see that he is playing the violin, or he was. But he needs to actually craft an object on the woodworking table. And there should be time before we have to go. So you should come here and craft. May as well craft a sculpture. We'll do a dragon. There you go. And when you're done with that, Nora, you should probably come here and rally the troops. Let me try that one again. Club gatherings, rally the troops. And then Colleen, you should come home. And we're not going to worry about this fishing right now. Knowledge. We'll do nerve brain. And your skills in terms of like what I might want you to work on. Your fabrication is high enough. Your rocket science, reading a book isn't really going to help. And let me just take a quick look. Okay, we're going to buy the second, unless we have it. No, we don't. We have the first archaeology book. We're going to, and it may be that it's out, but I can't be bothered taking the time to wait. So we have 5 of the archaeology 1 book. We're going to buy the second one. And then we'll let her do a little reading of that and see whether that counts. Just because, you know, it's helpful when we're away. And that's in reasonable shape. So we'll put it in there. And here's some of these books. So they're all sitting here. So I'll just put them away. Or I'll put the ones I see away at least. They're just all doing their own thing. Are you playing? At least? Oh, at least you're playing. That's good. What were you going to do? Oh, you're going to read. Did I tell you to read that? Oh, yes. Wrong. I told Colleen to read the second archaeology book. I told her to read the second. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day. I guess we're going to deal with that too. As well as working on all their stuff. So she is still doing this fishing. When do they work? 49 minutes. So I think we're going to say you should just come home so that you aren't late for your job. And Nora, you should probably rally the troops. And then Edward, what are you doing? You're chatting with Freddie. You should actually write in your journal. And then we will take this cooking book and put it on the counter so that I can then come and put it in here. And we have another book here. We have a handiness book to put away. Did that get all of them? Nope. Still says to clean up the books. Still says to clean up the books. And so she has to launch or upgrade this rocket so many times. Let's check where she is actually on the Renaissance sim. So she's only got to level 3 in 1 career, so she hasn't completed that. And I think while she's like waiting for her call for work, we're going to have her come and clean up the books. And then if she can, it may be just saying that because all the books are out because people are reading them, possibly. And I'm trying to get her to read this one. In case I decide to send her to university, it's a good one to have done a little bit of reading of first. So there we go. So Declan, you guys are all going, okay, you need to stop and go home. And they're all going to go to work. She's going to do that reading, and she will get her call for work. Her work, which obviously is different from the other ones, while they are at work. So I will be back just before she gets that call, which will be really soon because of the fact that she'll get the call at 8 since she works at 9. Well, there's our call. She made $950. We're going to work from home, of course. So her bonus was $950. That was it. That's the money she got. And she gets a Blooming Beauty wall painting, so we can put that up somewhere. And she has got to level 3 of research and debate. Now we don't have to worry about reading the books anymore because she's past that part of the aspiration. So let's see what her work tasks are. She needs to reach level 10 of the flower arranging skill, and she needs to make a flower arrangement. I can't say this is a really very well-paid career, but anyways, so she's we won't worry about putting that away. And we'll let you keep reading. Why don't you just read? First off, you're going to keep reading because you're going to read the 3rd book to try and get your flower arranging up a little bit more, and then we'll work on a flower arrangement once she's done. We got our first pop-up. They're all working hard. So our first pop-up for Abigail, and we're going to go back to the nursery and pay 20 simoleons and see if we get anything from anyone else. But if we do, I'll be back with that. And we did. Bonnie got the same one. We're going to go back. Same result. Colleen. Same result? Yep, same result. Well, I actually did get Journey to Batuu. It was on sale for half off during a Halloween sale. The sale is on till November 3rd, so there are certain packs that are on sale. This just happens to be one of it. I'll link to the article if you're interested in getting a pack on sale. But we're obviously going to take a vacation later. I doubt they'll ever go there. I'll just do that on my own separately. Oh, now Edward has the pop-up. And he got the same performance gain. It's just before noon, so the kids should all be home really soon. And they all, let me see. I think they just combined the money. That's why I thought I saw more coming. So they all just did their job, and they are all still level 2 of the career, which they start at level 2 because they were a public school student. So that gives high school students a boost. So if you play with them and they get to A when they're children, then they get to start their careers when they're teens at level 2, and obviously the grade you get when you graduate high school affects what level you start in your careers, because grade A students, which they are all right now, lets them start at level 3. So, but we're going to be back with Talk Like a Pirate Day and them trying to get stuff done for that, on top of still preparing to go to Selva Dorada in the next part. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! This has been Jennifer. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more videos of challenge, let's plays, tutorials, and occasional speed builds, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks very much!